Hey everyone, Jay here, and welcome to lab number one in starting with Python, right? Lab one is kind of a proof of concept to make sure that you can create a Python file. Okay? It doesn't do anything yet, but it does teach you how to make a file and, very importantly, how to write comments in your code. Comments are things that you'll write in here in human language that don't get paid attention to at all, don't get even looked at by the computer when your program is running. These are for the programmers to read that help you understand what the code is doing, because inevitably, any piece of code that survives long enough, you're going to have to come back and make edits in the future. You're going to have to upgrade it with new features or fix a bug or whatever. And if you don't have any comments in here, you're going to have to read it line by line every time, figure out what it does before you can fix it. If you have comments, you can then skip around, read the comments like kind of like a table of contents, find the part that you specifically are looking for, and you can kind of gloss over and ignore larger parts of the code. And the comments can just give you more detail about what a part of code is trying to do. So if you're fixing a bug, you can see, oh, it was supposed to do this, but it's a little bit wrong and I need to fix it this way because now I know what it was supposed to be doing. Right? So comments are super important. There's a couple different ways we can make comments in Python. So I have up here at the top, I have a header comment, which we are going to do in the future on all of our assignments. We're going to put a header on top. This is going to have your name, your class, the name of the assignment. And for this assignment, we're going to put any famous quote that you want. Okay, for me, I'm putting, it's a slow process, but quitting won't get you there any faster. I don't know who originated this. It's just a motivational quote that's in motivational quote books, or is the title of motivational quote books. So don't know who created it, but it's super important to me. I think a lot of times we're learning things, we're doing whatever it is, and progress takes a while sometimes, and we feel like we want to quit. Yeah, right before we're about to see some results. So don't quit. All right. So after the header, I have an extra line. Extra lines are kind of ignored by the computer. You can put as few or as many as you want. Be generous with them because they do help space out blocks of code. Right? If you don't have any extra lines anywhere, your code becomes difficult to read. So put some extra lines in there. Here I have a single line comment, and it says single line comment. It tells you what it is. That's great. It starts with a pound sign or a hashtag or a number sign. Depending on how old you are, you'll use one of those words. And that is a single lined comment. So you can write as much as you want on there for as long as you want. If you hit enter, go to the next line, you're no longer in a comment. Okay. Um, Single line comments are probably the most common. However, you don't want to write a really, really long comment in a single line because nobody wants to scroll horizontal. So then you have to break it up onto multiple lines. You could do multiple single line comments, or down here have a multi-line comment. In Python, the way to do it, it's not the same in every language, but in Python, you start with three single quotes, you end with three single quotes, and then you can put as much as you want in between. You can actually put pieces of code in here, block them off by the comment thing. The computer will ignore everything inside of these three quote marks here. So it could be code, could just be comments. Computer's not going to read it and not going to execute it. Right? So if you wanted to turn on and off pieces of code for testing, especially, you could use multi-line comments to do that. Uh, I'm using VS Code to right now, and you may notice that when I highlight three quotes here, one of the things VS Code does is it highlights every instance of the same thing that I highlighted, which is great. If I highlight the word comment, it's also going to highlight every other time I wrote the word comment. Okay, that's pretty cool in VS Code. In some other languages, or even in this language when we, or no, not in this language, in some other languages when we have like curly brackets and stuff, VS Code, if you highlight one, it will highlight the matching one so that you know which one is which. That's really cool about VS Code. It's not in this assignment though. So this assignment, you're going to put your header comment at the top, put a quote somewhere in here. I've always put it at the top for this assignment for years now. Write a single line comment, write a multi-line comment. They don't have to be exactly what I wrote here, especially the name is going to be different, but everything else is going to be the same. And turn that in for lab 1 as proof that you can create Python files. Name your file lab underscore, actually should be underscore 01, so that the computer will put it totally in alphabetical order. Lab underscore 01 underscore your name. You don't have to have that title in there like I do. You can just write lab 1. I name them for me so that when I come back, I know which one is which because the numbers are meaningless to me. So lab 1, getting started, your last name. All right, see you in the next video.